Tennis coaches, do you have players who train only once a week? It's tough, right? Because we don't have an awful lot of time with these players. We definitely don't have time to waste. So what's the biggest impact you can have on your players? What's the best practices to use? Well, stick around in this video. I'm going to show you a real life example of a once a week player and how I developed their serve. When you've got players who show up just once a week, it's quite difficult. Do you ever feel that every single week you're going over the same things that you did the previous week? Because these players have very little contact time with you, the coach, and they don't practice in between, it almost feels like you're treading water. Too often do I see tennis coaches waste their time with practices that don't really have an impact. Isolated practices, lots of throwing and catching. Throwing and catching, we know, are different skills from actually hitting the ball. They offer different affordances, therefore they need different actions. If your players are only playing once a week, let's say an hour, and you're spending 30 minutes off that lesson, throwing and catching, generally that's 30 minutes wasted. You can have a bigger impact by just introducing a racket. So, on the screen now, I have a practice design, and the design is to try and get the player to be comfortable hitting the ball above head height. The exercise is relatively simple. The player can only send the ball back over the net with an overhead action. They can have as many touches as they want with the ball to get the ball in the right position which they feel comfortable with and send the ball back. In this exercise, I am developing sending the ball from an overhead position, which would be really useful for the serve and also the smash, because the player is getting some differential learning here as well. They're getting used to hitting the overhead from different positions into different targets. The key to success with once a week players is to get them to fall in love with tennis. The only way we can do that as coaches is by getting them to play tennis. That involves using the racket and getting them to play a game that looks and feels much more like tennis. If you'd like 50 practice designs just like this one, please check out the link down below to my 50 practice design ebook. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch the video on the screen now.